What you're looking at here is a relic of years gone by. This is a long password screen for entering your password for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the Game Boy Color, which is a relic of a lot of different times back when handheld consoles were fairly popular. I'm just going to go back to the title screen so you can... Oh, I can't go back to the title screen. Oh, that is terrible. Well, it's the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 with his photo album. Hold on. Okay. I only have one photo unlocked. It's the front side there. That's interesting. Okay. I wasn't that interested in it anyway. The reason I was entering that password was because I am completely and totally cheating in this game. Entering that password, which I did not earn, I in fact looked up on a website, and I'm now going to exploit to my advantage. These are some of the levels you remember from Tony Hawk 2. New York City, of course, the famous the subway ride down to the other part where you gotta make that weird jump to get the $100 on the fence. The hangar, famous with the helicopter. Not School 2, just School. Apparently the two eyes were just too difficult for that. And of course the bull ring, right there at the end. We just kind of skipped. Oh yeah, everybody remembers Venice Beach right after the bull ring, classic. And then Skate Heaven, which may I like how it's to the upper right of the earth is Skate Heaven. So we're gonna go to Skate Street, just kind of check it out. Oh man, I'm zooming by here. I bought this game for one purpose and one purpose only. That was for the 2014 great, like, 8-hour stream that Ben and I did of Tony Hawk games. And I think we may have played it once, and then promptly put it down and swore never to speak of it again, because this is an unfathomably bad game. I mean, just in terms of porting a game to an inferior console, you could do a lot worse. But you wouldn't. You would hope. I mean, when you take a game from the Dreamcast era and put it on a Game Boy, which is still, I mean, it's not quite the guts of the console that came out in 1987, but it's not that much more powerful than a console that came out in 1987. What people consider barely a step up from that console, you're putting it on that, a game from 2000. That's got to be difficult to do, and it was Natsume, the company that produces what, Harvest Moon. So if you're a big fan of those games, and a big fan of these games, and your name is Ben Higby, then you're going to love this game. The best score so far in this game is 45. I have a 32 right now. All I got to do... Oh, I'm on free skate, aren't I? Okay, so I could just... Why are the skate letters still there, then? Why am I crashing on every attempt? I don't know how to land. This is like a really, really bad game of Ollie Ollie. Except far before. And there we go. Oh, okay. The best, like, one combo score. I don't think I'm going to top 28. If anything, I might... Let's see what I can do here. Boom. And there's nothing there. Alright. Yeah, I think 28 is my max. I'm going to go ahead and end the run. I like how they keep the font from all the Tony Hawk 2. The other different versions of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Here we are in New York City, which has... Oh my. This is like top down, and... What the hell? The Skate Street was just 2D. There was really no leeway, no room for movement in it. Now, in this game, you know, this is a lot like, and I'm going to make a reference that a lot of people are going to get and go, oh yeah, definitely, yeah, this reminds me of that. This is kind of like Sean Murray's Pro Skate... No. No. Sean Murray was the wakeboarder. How am I not coming up with the name of the Activision snowboarding game from 2001? Or 2002, maybe. It was after the Winter Olympics, and Ross Powers won gold. He wasn't the guy on the cover, though. Sean It's not Shaun White. Shaun White was in the game. He was like a 13-year-old kid. Sean Bradley was a basketball player. Oh my god, how have I forgotten it? If you can comment quickly with the name of that snowboarding game on the Game Boy Advance that kind of plays this way, but not quite as bad. Go ahead and leave it in the comments and win a prize. This is garbage. I've never even played this level before. Why am I at the back of the screen? Why am I not in the middle? I would hope to be in the middle. I don't know. That's kind of nitpicky, but still, you're effectively running a Tony Hawk game on not quite on an NES, but on that kind of hardware, on that strength of hardware, effectively. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here and end that run. That was not good. Alright, now here we are in the hangar, the level we all recognize, and we're back to pure 2D goodness. Everybody remembers that rail. And we'll go up. That's where it always was. Oh, and you can't even interact with any of the airplanes or the helicopter. That's just delightful. Isn't that what you guys want? Oh, okay, yeah, I can. Alright. I just 5-0'd on that. I got wingtip hang time there. Can I grind across the propeller here to access the secret room where all the money is? If I could get up there, maybe. Or get down there, ironically. Nope, that's apparently not going to happen. Wow, that is really not going to happen. And I don't think I can anyway, and I'm not that interested anyway. We can't go outside. We got a weird little mini ramp here. Alright. Let's just see if we can get up. Best score so far is a 5. Current score is 4. So you know we're dealing with some heavy hitting right here. God, these levels do not continue to get better. I would even say they continue to get worse. Okay, this one's... I don't know if this is New York level of... Oh, wow, that was the leap of faith. Remember that? Remember that kind of big moment in Tony Hawk 2, and you're just like, I'm gonna do the leap of faith! And then, you know, you nail it, and it's like, sweet, I did that. Well, I just did that by accident here in the Game Boy Color game. And not gonna get that K. You can still collect skate in the free skate mode. That's interesting. There are no gaps or anything of the sort. This would be TC's roof gap over here. I don't know where the angry guy in the golf cart is. He may have been cut out, or he may have been... Oh, that's right. I forget you can't hold A to, like, make sure you jump at the right time. There's, like, a random brick wall for that sprite, too. There's no just ramp in the middle of nowhere. It's just... Oh, there's a brick wall there. Gotta hold it up. And there we go. Almost did that. That's not TC's roof gap, apparently. I am barred from going to the right. Huh. In the Tony Hawk 1, the original, here I am on the grass. Blue Torch, Marseille? No? That was the Blue Torch Bowl. I don't know if anybody remembers that reference. I don't even know what Blue Torch is. But I know that in the Marseille level of Tony Hawk 2, that is like the sponsor. And I hit the green wall of death, and I think that might be my key to, my cue to not do this anymore. I don't know where I am. Is there a 8-bit Carlsbad gap in here anywhere? I already did the 8-bit leap of faith, so you already ruined one piece of you didn't ruin it, obviously. I mean, they're still perfectly good. Well, the things that ruined the if I could finish that sentence. Here, hold on, let me finish that sentence and then go on to my next one that I already started. You've already ruined the leap of faith. I wonder if they ruined the Carlsbad gap. Now, obviously the game did not ruin those. In real life, the remodeling of both of those places are what ruined those two actual spots. The leap of faith, so many people hurt themselves during doing the leap of faith, which is an actual place. If you don't know what I'm referring to, do a nice little YouTube search for skateboarding leap of faith or rollerblading leap of faith. It was more, from what I understand, more rollerbladers did it and nearly died. did somebody actually die, or was that just an urban legend? I don't know. The leap of faith was, I believe, in California. I don't know if it was in Carlsbad. It certainly was not at the same high school like in Tony Hawk 2. But it was just a big drop, effectively. I don't know that there was a railing there or anything. They may have put up a railing eventually. And famously, it was Jamie Thomas who, like, got up... this is the bull ring, by the way, but I don't have anything to say about the bull ring. Oh, wait, I'm going to do the loop. No, I'm not. Alright, well, our key here, this video will be effectively as good as it can ever be if I do the loop. But Jamie Thomas got down, either nearly landed it and then fell on his face, and then, I don't know if he seriously hurt himself, but, like, a lot of people tried it. Jamie almost landed it. There were certain people who, I mean, a lot of rollerbladers and skaters in the mid-90s tried it, and a lot of them failed. Now, the Carlsbad Gap was one, there's actually a little documentary online, and not very long, like maybe 15 minutes about it, which kind of introduced me to the entire idea of, like, skateboard photography and magazines and stuff like that, where I just did the loop again to no fanfare. Where the Carlsbad Gap was at a high school in, assuming Carlsbad, California, and there's like a staircase and a handrail. It's in that secret area of School 2 in Tony Hawk 2. I know what next week's episode is going to be. It's going to be me showing you real-life locations in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. And there's a staircase, a handrail, and then a grass. It's kind of a grassy kind of area. Most people try to jump the grass, and the sidewalk kind of slopes up, so it's hard to properly land, and it leads to what is one of the most difficult gaps out there. And so there is a little documentary on it that I actually recommend you go look up if you are so inclined. There are no documentaries, however, on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for the Game Boy Color, which I believe this is Venice Beach, which I was just playing earlier this week. Oddly enough, Venice Beach is also the last level in another Tony Hawk classic. If you were guessing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD for the Xbox 360, you would be right. For whatever reason, they chose to end it there. Or did they? Yeah, they did. Okay, I remember this big... whatever that is. Inoku. Mr. Show reference. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Christ, that's the second Mr. Show reference I've made in like the past hour and a half. Somebody just tweeted out like Coupon the movie. I think it was Jeff Gersman, which actually brings me to why I'm doing this, because I thought, here's a good idea. I kind of like those Game Boy Advance Tony Hawk games, specifically Tony Hawk 2, and then I realized at one point I owned all, like, 2, I think, either through Underground or through 4, but I think it was through Underground. And I lost my copy of 3, which I secretly think a kid at daycare stole it when I was like 7 years old. Maybe I was 6 years old. 7 years old. And I sold my copy of 2, or no, I sold my copy of 4 to Blockbuster in return for like maybe $2. Because Blockbuster, now that I've traded stuff into GameStop, I realize like how much Blockbuster and Game Rush weren't actually ripping me off. But I was like, only $3 for my copy of Madden 2002? What a rip-off, you know. Meanwhile, in the condition that was probably in, GameSpot would have made me pay them to take it back, which is something they actually would do if you were unlucky enough to bring in an old enough game that was also scratched up, because it was like a $3 charge to repair the scratches, and if your game was fewer than $3, you were effectively having to pay them if you wanted to trade it in, so they'd be like, yeah, you might as well just not. Granted, they're not even the worst. If anybody grows up, or anybody lives in the kind of Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, that area, Tornado Alley represent, there's a chain called either Vintage Stock or VS or Movie Trading Co., depending on where you live. That is the absolute worst place to trade in anything. I traded in like, God, like traded so much stuff. I don't think I've ever got more than $10 on anything there. And for whatever reason, I was so just naive and was trading stuff in that was worth, well, that could have, if I had sold it on eBay myself, I could have sold it for more money and had actual money, not just like store credit. But I got like maybe like $3. Perfectly working, functioning pair of like Rock Band drums, set of Rock Band drums. In like 2008 or 9, I think I got $4 for them. Anyway, where this story was going was, I don't know where any of my copies of the Game Boy Advance games are. Those games are perfectly good. These games, the Game Boy Color ones, specifically to, and even more specifically, if you think this is bad, you should check out Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the Game Boy Color, which I actually owned before I even owned a GameCube, or a legit Tony Hawk 3. That was the first Tony Hawk 3 anything I owned. Now I think I have like 6 different versions of it, if I think about it, because I have GameCube, Xbox, PC, then Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I don't know where my Game Boy Color cartridge is, though, and I do not want to play that at all. That game is so difficult that... it's so bad, I'll just go ahead and say so bad, that I owned it. It was the only game I really owned on my Game Boy Color at one point that I hadn't already beaten. And I played it to level maybe 3. It was a competition, was the 3rd level. And the thing is, I think it was Rio de Janeiro, I think, because it started out at Canada, and then it worked its way to, I don't remember what the 2nd level was, but it started Canada, then Foundry, then Rio de Janeiro. I don't think I ever even got to like 5th place in Rio, because it was just so hard to land and do tricks in that game. And it's so hard to land and do tricks in this game. I'd like to point out I have only pressed the A button this entire video, because the B button, to my knowledge, does nothing. I can't like do flip tricks. Ugh, this is ridiculous. This is, and I'm sure it's a shocker to everybody. I'm just gonna pause and end the run and end the video. I'm sure it's a shocker to everybody that the Game Boy Color version of a Tony Hawk game isn't a classic, isn't just a beautiful game. We will look at the credits. Oh, Mika Hayashi, how you did us wrong. EA testers. Oh, Natsume. Wow, Natsume did this. Now I'm thinking of, they had to do like Friends of Mineral Town around this and all of that. And they're just like, oh, Tony Hawk 2's in my resume as well. I worked on that. It's so weird for Natsume knowing that company. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, because I used to pronounce it Natsume, and then somebody got mad at me. So, anyway, we are done with this episode of Tony Hawk Tuesdays, doing Tony Hawk 2, indeed, but though not a good version of it. Next week, I think I'm just going to show you a couple of real-life, actual-ass locations in a Tony Hawk game. Because there are some real spots, and you will be excited to see them, undeniably. Thank you for watching. That is the end of the video. Wow, this is almost 20 minutes long. The last one was like 5 minutes. Whatever. I'll see you around next week on Tony Hawk Tuesday.